Hey guys, Coach Rick here. And I got a question today from one of my clients that I thought I would address. And because it's going to be longer than a minute, I figured I would just do a YouTube thing so it'll pop up in your telegrams a lot easier. So the question was about snacks. And the comment made was that one of the things that they were going to work on was not having snacks at about 6 p.m. It seems to be a downfall for a lot of people, is that after dinner snacking thing, right? So there's a couple of things that I suggested, and I thought, hey, might as well share them with everybody and see if you guys have had some similar experiences, or maybe you have something that you've done or that you're trying that has made a difference. What I'd like to encourage you guys to do is, if this is an issue, if snacking is an issue, whether it's at 6 o'clock or whether it's at 3 o'clock or whether it's at 9 o'clock, whatever it is, or if it's right before you go to bed, that you take on one of these ideas and see if you can't make a little change in how you do things that makes a big difference in your journey towards whatever your goal happens to be, especially with weight loss. So here are the ideas. Number one, if you're eating every 2.5, 3 hours throughout the day, and you're having protein in every one of those meals and or snacks, that's going to help more than just about anything I'm going to suggest later on the snack side. Because what protein does is it helps to keep your blood, because it's harder for your body to digest, it helps to keep your blood sugars regulated, especially if you're going to have carbohydrates. And carbohydrates are not evil. They're evil when you're taking too many of them and you're not taking enough other things, nutrients and protein. But when you take carbohydrates with protein, they don't absorb as fast. When they absorb fast, when you have a high carbohydrate, especially a processed carbohydrate meal, your blood sugars spike. That sets a whole series of reactions in your body in play. And I'll post another video actually after this that you can check out that kind of explains it better than I probably would. But it spikes your blood sugar. So if you're having protein in each of those meals, right, and that's why we suggest splitting your protein up throughout the day, and in your snacks getting 10 to 15 grams protein. So if you split that up, you don't get the same cravings that you do when you're spiking and crashing your blood sugars all day long, which is what most people do, and which is how we get to the place that we need to lose weight to begin with. So that's suggestion number one. Make sure you're getting protein in every meal and every snack, and you're doing that every 2.5, 3 hours throughout the day. Now, if you're eating an early meal or an early dinner, and then you're getting cravings 2 or 3 hours later, that's normal. It's not a bad thing. If you're eating at 6, you're not going to bed till 10, you probably need to add a little snack in there. The key is, what's the snack? Now, if you're going to have something that is a more balanced kind of snack, right? It's not just, it's got carbohydrates in it, it's got sugars in it. You want to make sure that you're having that 2 to 3 hours before you go to bed. But for some of us, we have a sweet tooth, right? I'm not the only one, I'm sure. And wow, talk about losing your train of thought. We have a sweet tooth. Oh, and we really need something that's going to fill in that gap, because we're eating way before we're going to bed. So that's fine. It's just picking the right thing. So the first suggestion I made was that you use our beverage mix. The beverage mix is amazing. 2 scoops gives you 70 calories, 15 grams protein, and 0 sugars. So it is the perfect right before bed snack, even if it's like an hour, half hour before you go to bed. It's not going to cause the damage that having a Snickers, having some ice cream, having any number of the typical crappy snacks that we would typically look for when our brains are saying, I need sugar, right? It satisfies your sweet tooth because it is sweet. Now, it comes in 2 flavors. There's actually 3. So wild berry, peach mango, and the third flavor is my favorite, which is 1 scoop of each. Now, during the day, if I use it as a snack, I will typically use 2 scoops and 2 scoops, because it's 140 calories, 30 grams of protein. So if you're having trouble meeting your protein goals throughout the day, it's a real easy way with hardly any calories to really up that protein without having too much at one time. Now, the other suggestion would be to have veggies cut up. And you guys saw my post a while ago where I cut up some different things, peppers and red peppers, again, helps with the sweet tooth, radishes and celery. Now, as I'm getting into this, I'm going to be doing more and more different vegetables, and I'm not going to hesitate anytime I'm having a little hunger pang to go and grab a handful even, because they're going to be low in calories, low in sugar, they're high in fiber, and that's gonna give you some bulk to help get you to the point where you should have your next real snack or your real meal. They're not gonna damage, they're just gonna help. And so having a bunch of things all cut up and ready to go for me is the key, because if they're not cut up and ready to go, when I get hungry, and I'm not gonna wash them, I'm not gonna peel them, I'm not gonna cut them up, I'm gonna eat whatever happens to be around. And that's a whole nother subject about cleansing your house of evil things, but we'll leave that. Okay, so those are a couple of ideas of things that you can do, especially for those late night snacks. The other thing that we'll do is I'll post a file with some snack suggestions on it. Some of them are Herbalife snacks, some of them are not. Here's the things you want to be careful of. You want to make sure that the calorie load and the protein load is going to get you where you want to do. You don't want to have too many calories, obviously, and you want to make sure that you're getting enough protein. Now, if it's a protein snack that you're trying to do, you want 10 to 15 grams of protein. I would err towards the 15, because it's okay to go over your grams of protein as long as you're not having too much at one time, but it's really not good for you in keeping your blood sugars level if you're having too few. So I hope that helps. If there's something you've been doing that's really been working, post it in the chat. And then as you're trying things, let us know how it's going. Okay. The whole point of this is that you guys are helping by sharing your examples, sharing your issues, so that we can help you and we can all hit our goals in a faster way. All right. You guys have a great day. Talk to you soon.